motherfuckers that's out here killing all these motherfuckers for no reason, you know, for orange juice and shit, you know what I'm saying? Orange juice, you know. Bitch shot the girl by in the back of her head, you know, she buckled up, you know, that's kind of fucked up. And then the bitch...
Peace, family. We are back again. And today I have a short video for you, but we will deal with film and we will deal with poetic justice within a script, right? Poetic justice is symbolic of making the audience feel something, right? And this is the power in art where it doesn't have to be specifically true, right? You can take things, for example, Quentin Tarantino, when he deals with a film like Inglourious Basterds and he deals with the Holocaust, he flips the script on the Holocaust and the Jewish people have a happy ending. Or in Django, he flips the script where the African Americans on the plantation have a happy ending, and you get to see Django ride off into the sunset with the girl, right? So this is power in film on the artistic side, where a director or a writer can write in poetic justice so the audience leaves happy, right? Now, when we look into a film like Menace to Society, which came out in 1993, it was a very, very brutal scene in the opening of the film when you see the characters O-Dog and Kane go into a convenience store in LA, right? Now, O-Dog is a teenager in the film. He's about 14 to 15 years old in the film. That's how the Hughes brothers wrote him in, as a teenage character. And Kane is also a teenage character. He's 18 and O-Dog is 15, right? Now, this matters because we are dealing with poetic justice in this scene. This scene has been scrutinized since it came out, where you see these two characters walk into a Korean-owned convenience store in LA, and they are followed around, right? They are followed around by the Korean store owners and seen as criminals, right? Automatically seen as criminals who are there to steal, right? And this has been an issue, and it's still an issue to this day in many predominantly black communities, where the stores are still not black owned, but the customers are black, and do not have a lot of resources, and many times some do steal. It does happen, right? But every black shopper is not a thief, although at times many are treated as thieves, right? I've been in black communities the store was owned by foreigners, and I've been treated as a criminal myself, right? So this is something that was in the film that's true to life. But many people asked, right, when the film came out, and I've even seen Farrakhan speak on it in the 90s when the film came out, how it was brutal for O-Dog, the character O-Dog, to shoot and kill the Korean store owner who was harassing him and inciting that he was there to steal, right? What would make the Hughes brothers write this into the film, putting black Americans' image at risk even more in that time? You have to look into the Latasha Harlins case in 1991, where a black teenage girl in LA walked into a Korean store owned in LA in a predominantly black neighborhood, and she grabbed the orange juice and allegedly put it into her backpack, and the Korean store owner accused her of stealing the orange juice. And the orange juice was exactly $1.39. And again, we got Latasha Harlins, a black teenage girl who was accused of stealing, even though she had money in her hand, right? So as she is followed around the store and then harassed for stealing before she's even had the opportunity to pay, her and the Korean store owner get into a back and forth. Um, the store owner grabs Latasha Harlins, the 14-year-old girl, and Latasha Harlins swings back, hits her, and knocks her to the floor. And as Latasha Harlins tries to run away from the altercation, the Korean store owner, she grabs a gun, a revolver, and shoots Latasha Harlins, the 14-year-old black child, in the back of the head over a $1.39 orange juice, right? So this this incident happened um, right after the Rodney King beatdown that was caught on tape, right? Where you seen 12, 13, or maybe even more uh, white LAPD officers beating a black Rodney King, right? So the tension is very, very high at this time. In this Latasha Harlins case, um, made many black Americans, you know, sad, obviously, right? Anytime you see a young teenage girl gunned down and accused of stealing in her own community, you know, it's a tragic thing, and you feel like, man, it could be any of our kids, right? So when the Hughes brothers made this film 2 years later, a year and a half later, to make the black audience have some form of poetic justice when they watch this film, you have the teenage character, O Dog, walk into the store and be harassed just like Latasha Harlins was harassed. But instead of the Korean store owner being the one to kill O Dog, Allen Hughes and his brother, they flipped the script in the film, and you have the teenage character O Dog rob them and kill them, right? And I know that's dark in the film. That's dark. However, you know, this was something that was made to make the black audience have, even though it wasn't real, it was made to make the black audience walk away with some type of victory, even in the film. And all through the film, you see black people watching it over and over again. You see Chauncey and O Dog selling the tape. You know what I mean? Like, they really getting a kick out of this tape, right? And it was like a victory. This was the Hughes brothers giving some type of victory to the black audience, right? Like, yeah, that was for Latasha Harlins, even though it was just in film. That was for Latasha Harlins, right? We're gonna do it that way. And film can be dark sometimes, Film can be dark even if it was meant to bring light to a situation, right? This was poetic justice done by the Hughes brothers, and I don't know if many caught that, So if you didn't know, now you do know that was a use of poetic justice by a screenwriter, and I think it was beautiful. You know what I mean? Even though obviously, many feel like it was another blow to the image of the young black man at the time. I feel like artistically, I objectively I can see what the Hughes brothers were doing artistically in the use of poetic justice. And for those that don't know, I'll leave you with for the younger guys, you have to check out the classic hip hop. A lot of people say they hip hop fans. If so, if you love something, then you want to know everything about it, right? You meet a woman and you're so interested in her, you want to know everything about her. If you really love hip hop, you want to know everything about it. Not just when you were born, but you want to dig into the crates. And that's the beautiful thing about hip hop. It's always something new to find. So for those that really want to dig into the crates, you should find that the Ice Cube album, Death Certificate, right? Find death certificate and check out Black Korea. On that note, we out, family. Peace.